In today's lesson, I'm going to show you a bunch of songs that all share the same strumming pattern. They're going to be grouped logically, so you'll be able to learn multiple songs at once, and just by making some small tweaks, you'll basically be practicing a few songs simultaneously instead of just one. I'm going to demonstrate the songs here, and if you want a full breakdown of any of these songs, I'm going to put a link to a full lesson for each of these tunes down below. If you need help with the techniques or the chord switching, I have a free ebook. It's like a boot camp for the basics. You'll find a link below for that too. Now, let's just jump right in. We're going to start with Leaving on a Jet Plane by John Denver.
My bags are packed, I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I'd hate to wake you up to say goodbye.
So the strumming pattern for that and all of our songs today is down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. It's the most common strumming pattern ever. If you need a refresher or if you're learning it for the first time, it's in my free ebook. There's a link down below for that. And it's not just a book, by the way. You know, you can click on it and the lessons pop up. So you'll find a lesson for this pattern there. Anyways, we have G, C, and D. Three of the most used chords on guitar and the most common strumming pattern ever. And there's one other song that we can play with that.
It's late in the evening. She's wondering what clothes to wear. She puts on her makeup and brushes her long blonde hair.
Now, to those three chords, G, C, and D, we can add one more chord, E minor, and we get the most common 4-chord combo on guitar. We'll start with one that uses the 2-finger trick. That's where you leave down these 2 fingers, our pinky and ring, on the 3rd fret of the top 2 strings.
It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
And Good Riddance by Green Day uses those exact shapes, like those simpler ones where you leave the 2 fingers down, but you can use them for any G, C, D songs as a way to get comfortable with those chord shapes. Because let's face it, C is pretty tough in the early stages. Anyways, we're just gonna bang out a few tunes here because this is the most common chord progression ever.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Almost heaven. West Virginia. Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. The night is come, and the land is dark, and the moon is the only light you see. My brown-eyed girl,
And I actually taught a lesson where we just used that 4-chord combo, but we're changing the strumming patterns. We're kind of doing the opposite thing. And we go through 30 tunes that just use G, E minor, C, and D. I'll put a link in the corner and down below for that if you'd like to explore this from that other angle. Anyways, now we're going to take our 4-chord combo and add one more chord to it. If we add A minor to it, we can play All of Me by John Legend.
all of me loves all of you, all your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections.
And as far as the A minor chord, that comes in a different section. You know, the more chords you have, you don't necessarily have to use them all in one part. That happens with
My head's underwater, but I'm doing fine.
but you will find them all in the same section in Take It Easy by the Eagles.
Take it easy, take it easy, Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy.
And if instead of the A minor chord, we add the F chord, and I have an easy way to play F, because I know it can be a bar chord, but we can do it in an easy way where we just put our index on the first fret of the B string, our middle finger on the second fret of G, our pinky on the third fret of D, ring finger just above that on the third fret of A, lightly touch the thickest string with your thumb. A lot of people, they email me, they're like, my hands are too small, I can't reach that thickest string. You don't have to cover it, you just have to lightly touch it, even if it's just on top.
Lord, I was born a rambling man, trying to make a living and doing the best I can.
Now, to quickly round off your 4-chord education, there are quite a few 4-chord songs that just use the basic chords.
99 red balloons floating in the atmosphere. How long will I slide? Separate my side. Shout, shout, let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on. I met a gin-soaked barroom queen in Memphis. She tried to take me upstairs for a ride. Hey, hey, yeah. Hey, yeah.
And at the end there, I played an E major chord. But one time I remember this really rude comment on the video. Maybe it's still there. I might have even pinned it under the lesson where I teach it, where somebody's just ripping into me for playing E major instead of E minor. So I slowed the song down to like nothing in this program called Transcribe. And if you do that, you can clearly hear there's the G sharp. That's what makes it the E chord. And just because some guy with a beard covered it in like 2009 or something using an E minor in his acoustic cover doesn't mean anything. Listen to the tune, it's an E chord, and I will die on that hill. Next, we have a few tunes that still use basic chords, but have a little something extra in them. The first one is Redemption Song.
Old pirates, yes, there are I. Sold I to the merchant ships.
So I went C down to G over B, and then A minor. And that's technically a G chord. You could go sold I to the merchant ships. It just doesn't have as much movement as that descending bass line thing. The bass line goes, and that's a really powerful, beautiful thing in music. It's used in tons of songs like Landslide, Dust in the Wind. Anyways, the next couple of tunes, they don't have anything like that. They just use a lot more basic chords. So this is the point where you start expanding your chord vocabulary and therefore your song repertoire.
On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night.
And to play I Wanna Hold Your Hand by the Beatles, there's a bunch of chords, but they're all wrapped up in tight 3 or 4 chord sections, like
I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand.
And you might also notice there that the strumming pattern's a bit different. I'm just using the first half of the strumming pattern because we're not playing the chord for long enough to do the full thing. First half, down, down, up, down, down, up, And that's a great trick. When you find the pattern doesn't fit, just use the first half of it and it'll probably work out. The other part of the song,
And when I touch you, I feel happy inside. It's such a feeling that my love, I get
And that just about wraps it up. Remember, if you want to practice any of the songs here, I'll put a link to the full lesson down below that you'll find here on YouTube. And if you want to work on the skills needed to play these songs, I have that free ebook. If you want to take that a step further, I have premium membership to my website, which includes a ton of courses, bonus material for YouTube lessons, access to the Good Guitarist community, and a bunch more. It's one of the best ways to keep moving forward on your guitar journey, so please check that out. There's more info on that down below. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy learning guitar with me. Have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.